It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the US of A and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations, we cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
We'll start off this broadcast with a rhetorical question. Is Marcus Lemonis the next Donald Trump? When it comes to the ongoing confusion regarding the Gander Mountain store chain and a steady stream of Twitter posts from Mr. Lemonis, the owner of Camping World and the new owner of Gander Mountain, you've got to wonder. As we have previously reported, Gander Mountain, which operates between 126 and 162 outdoors retail stores nationwide, filed for bankruptcy and was recently bought out by Camping World, headed by businessman and reality TV star Marcus Lemonis. Last week, we, along with other media sources, reported that all of the Gander Mountain stores were closing, a story corroborated by Gander Mountain's own website. Since then, Mr. Lemonis has unleashed a steady stream of tweets on Twitter saying, and I am paraphrasing here, "No, we are not closing all the stores." Then Lemonis listed 30 that were staying open. Then Lemonis listed 55 that were staying open. And he has hinted up to 75 stores could stay open, subject to negotiations with landlords where the Gander Mountain stores are located. Now, Lemonis is launching a logo design contest for the rebranded store chain, which will be called Gander Outdoors. The person who comes up with the winning logo will get $25,000. Lemonis posted several designs which looked suspiciously like a sample I got from the Canadian company Logo Nerds I worked with when I designed my logo, were posted by Lemonis, and he has made it clear to would-be logo designers that want to win $25,000 that he does not, I repeat, does not want to see any birds resembling the Gander Mountain goose in his new logo design. A businessman, a reality TV star, a confusing, unfolding narrative, and tweets galore from the man himself, Marcus Lemonis really does seem to be the Donald Trump of the outdoors world. Our thanks to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune and the Outdoor Hub for content we shared in this story. This week on America Outdoors Radio, we're going to be talking about tough and innovative gear you are going to want to have that is going to get you where you need to go on the water or in the field if you are heading to your destination by water. And if you're going to be in a remote area that's tough to navigate, you'll want a really tough boat. With that in mind, we are taking you to Fairbanks, Alaska to talk to two gentlemen who are in the business of making these kind of watercraft. First person we'll chat with is Bob Sagonis. He is the founder of Class 5 Boat Works. They make boats made out of, get this, plastic. But not just any plastic, no. This plastic material will literally stand up to a sledgehammer and handle just about anything the interior rivers of Alaska have waiting for them. The second man we'll talk to is Craig Compo. He sells SJX jet boats made in Idaho and sold from both the factory there and from his boat and ATV dealership in Alaska. These boats are specifically made to handle the shallow waters you'll come across in many of Alaska's streams and can even cross short distances where there's no water at all. How about that? Craig also sells ATVs, and he's got his recommendation on the brand you'll want to have to get where you need to go in Alaska or anywhere else. Once you get to your destination on the water, you'll want to stay there. And Eric Jungblom, the owner of Lee Lock Anchor Systems out of Washington State, has just what you need to keep you there safe and sound. Staying in Washington, we'll head to the big city of Seattle, where Ty Collins with Rad Power Bikes will tell you about his electric-powered bicycles and why they may be just the thing to get you where you need to go whether it be an out-of-the-way fishing destination or hunting spot. On top of all this, we've got good news for outdoors enthusiasts who recreate on public lands in Nevada. Bad news for salmon anglers hoping to catch a spring Chinook out of the Snake or Columbia rivers in the Northwest. Good fishing news out of the state of Mississippi, and a new federal rule for you boat owners that may have you heading to your local licensing office and spending some money soon. But before we get into all of this great stuff on this week's edition of America Outdoors Radio, we are heading to New York to talk to Jason Reed. He's with the Crosman Corporation, and registration is now open for the 2017 Crosman All-American Field Target Championship. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. Certainly appreciate it.
So, Jason, tell our listeners a little bit more about this Field Target Championship for air gunners. I understand it's open to anybody who wants to participate.
Yeah, it's a great event, open to anybody at any skill level with really any gun that you want to bring in, whether you have a PCP or a break barrel. It's a very family-friendly event, and definitely one of the premier field target events in the country, and we pull from really all over the globe. We've had people come from Europe as well, so it's been a great event the last several years that we've put it on, and definitely looking forward to July 21st through the 23rd, and typically have between 85 and 100 shooters in the event, and we still have plenty of spaces open right now, which we'd love to have everyone out.
So here's a question for you, Jason. I understand that Crosman makes some great air rifles. In fact, I owned a couple of them when I was a kid and got to shoot them quite a bit. Do you have to shoot a Crosman or Benjamin air rifle to compete in this championship, or can you bring anyone?
No, not at all. You can shoot with whatever gun you have, and that's really the beautiful part about it. Now, we do give away plenty of our own guns here and have that opportunity for people. You do see quite a few Marauders out on the line, but people come with their own guns as well, and that's perfectly fine. We just want to have a great weekend. The airgun community is just an awesome community, and we want to see everyone out there shooting with whatever gun that they have, and just really, continue to grow the community and the sport of air gunning.
So you've got a couple of really interesting competitions that are going on within this competition. One of them is the Quigley Bucket Match. I am guessing this has something to do with that great Western that Tom Selleck was in, Quigley Down Under. Tell us how this works.
You got it. It's 55 yards, no sights, quick shot, and a couple of years ago, our very own Fred Eichler came out from Colorado, and he won that match. People just love that match because it's a fast draw match, and it's just a ton of fun to see if you can pull that shot off with that quickly with no sights. And I know some people sent me some videos already. They're practicing for it this summer, and so we're looking forward to having a little bit of Western nostalgia added to our event this year again.
Well, speaking of Western nostalgia, the Pyramid Air Gunslinger Match, what is that one all about?
The Gunslinger Match is, fast draw competition, combines, speed and accuracy again. It's just a lot of fun, really challenging. You're paired up with another person, another shooter, and you've got to knock down your designated target, different distances and as fast as you can. And really it does push your skill a little bit. But again, it's just one of those real kind of fun, competitive, lighthearted events that we put on there in cooperation with our friends at Pyramid, and it's been a big draw the last couple of years as well.
The Pyramid Air Gunslinger Match, is this an air pistol or air rifle competition?
That's a pistol event.
And speaking of which, you also have a simple pistol match too, don't you?
Yep, we do. We are offering quite a few different events this year, whether you're going to be shooting in pistol or you're going to be shooting the general field target. So if you show up, there's definitely plenty of different opportunities in different competitions. Go to the website at crosman.com to see, pick the ones you want and the classes you want to be in, and love to see you out there.
There you go, folks. Again, it is the Crosman All-American Field Target Championship taking place in Rochester, New York, July 21st through the 23rd. It is open to 100 shooters, so you'll want to reserve your spot now, but anyone at all can participate in this. There's 5 divisions and classes for competitors. You also can compete with either a rifle or with an air pistol. And as you heard, there's some fun events too, like the Pyramid Air Gunslinger match and the Quigley Bucket match. The website to find out more, again, is Crosman.com. Just go to Crosman.com and look for the Field Target Championship. Stick around. We've got some tough boats to tell you about coming up on America Outdoors Radio.
Deadshot barrels are built using the best techniques and materials to produce the highest level of accuracy for your AR or FN platform rifle. Deadshot Barrels is one of the few companies offering machined comps and ports in barrels, and the only company offering barrels for SCAR rifles. Our niche is helping people order whatever barrel they want, and we offer the fastest turnaround time for custom-ordered barrels. Find out more at DeadshotBarrels.com. Deadshot Barrels, building the rifle barrel you need when accuracy counts.
Clippership RV Motorhome Rentals offers you the opportunity to explore Alaska in the comfort of a motorhome. Unpack once and make your own trip off the beaten path. Clippership offers different sizes from 19 to 36-foot long motorhomes in Class A, B, and C models. Don't worry about bringing along extras with you. The utensils, linens, and unlimited mileage are all included in the price, and we guarantee you the best rates in Alaska. Find out more at ClippershipRV.com. That's ClippershipRV.com.
Service is always cheaper than repair. That's a truism from Ken Estes at Cascade Marine Center in Portland, Oregon. Go ahead and drop by and see Cascade Marine for all of the parts, accessories, and honest advice you need to keep your boat and motor running. No one wants to be the guy plugging the boat ramp up because his boat doesn't start. So head down to Cascade Marine Center in Portland or give them a call or check out their website at CascadeMarineCenter.com.
Garibaldi Charters offers fantastic fishing for salmon, tuna, halibut, and bottomfish off the North Oregon coast. With only an hour-and-a-half drive from Beaverton, you can get here in a hurry and go fishing. 2 of our more popular offerings include private charters for salmon and live bait tuna fishing. We can also accommodate groups of up to 20 people on our boats. Book your adventure now at GaribaldiCharters.com or call 1-800-900-HOOK. That's 1-800-900-HOOK or GaribaldiCharters.com.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. As promised, we are telling you about rugged craft. They're going to take you wherever you need to go in the outdoors. And one person that makes such a craft for the water is Bob Sagonis. He is the founder of Class 5 Boatworks, located in Fairbanks, Alaska. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John.
So, Bob, you make arguably some of the toughest boats in the business. We'll start off with the story. How did you get involved in the boating business?
Well, for 20 years, our affiliated company, Life Water Engineering Company, has been designing and building sewage treatment plants for extremely cold climates. And about 12 years ago, we started building our tanks out of plastic rather than fiberglass and other materials. So up here in Alaska, many people who run shallow rivers, they use aluminum boats, and they cover the bottoms of their boats with plastic. Jerry Fleischman, who has been with me for 15 years, and I have been boaters all of our lives. So we thought, why not build a whole boat out of plastic? And as we talked about it, we decided when work gets slow, we'll build a boat. At the end of 2014, work got slow for a couple of weeks, so we started building a boat, and that's all we needed to do was get started, and here we are.
So, question for you, Bob. When it comes to plastic boats, I guess I've seen those with canoes and kayaks made out of poly, but I get the impression that your boats are a little bit tougher than that.
Right. Our boats are made out of polypropylene plastic, and we can use whatever thickness of material we need in different parts of the boat. So our boats are extremely rugged, and we call them rough-duty boats.
True or false, I have heard a story that they're so tough, you can literally hit them with a sledgehammer and not break them. I mean, that's how durable they are. Is this true?
Absolutely. That's one of the things we do. When someone comes to our shop to see a boat, We hand them a sledgehammer and we say, go ahead, hit the boat. Just don't hit any metal parts, but you can hit the plastic anywhere you want to, and it just bounces off. As a matter of fact, it has a surprising recoil.
I understand that being in Fairbanks, you've got some pretty wicked streams in your neck of the woods. Do you test your boats on those rivers?
Yes, we do. We have a wide range of river conditions up here. We have large rivers, small rivers, creeks. In some of the smaller ones, the water levels change dramatically during the course of a single day. We have rivers with clear water, turbid glacial water, narrow winding rivers with sweepers or logs that go completely across the channel. Slow-moving meandering rivers with some gravel bars. We have fast-moving rivers with lots of rapids, gravel bars, rocks, boulders, etc. Lots of different conditions.
And let's move on to the boat itself. So again, it's a rough-duty boat, and you've got a series of boats called the River Series. Tell our listeners about what the River Series boats are used for.
Sure. We have 3 different models currently in the River Series. We have a model we call the Anvik, which is an outboard designed for a prop or a jet. It's a multi-purpose open hull, has a large cargo carrying capacity, and is available in 16 to 20-foot sizes. Then we have the Dragonfly, which is like a sports car on the water. It's lightweight, about 1,100 pounds, 14-foot hull with plus or minus 200 horsepower inboard jet in it. It's designed for 2 people and a moose. It gets on step in about a boat's length and is almost as maneuverable as a personal watercraft. And frankly, it's the most fun boat I've ever driven. The Kobuk, which is a larger boat designed for larger rivers with lots of debris, sticks, logs, whole trees coming down the river, eddies with huge whirlpools, deep water with big standing waves, shallow water with gravel bars and rocks, river like the Copper River or the Yukon River, etc.
Let's talk about the Dragonfly mini jet boat for a second, because, again, I think your description, almost describing it as like a personal watercraft that'll haul 2 people and a moose, is very apt. And, folks, you got to go to the website, class5boatworks.com. Check out the picture of the Dragonfly. You'll see what I mean. This looks like it'd be great to use on whitewater streams. I could see using this jetting up Hell's Canyon along the border of Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, and lots of other rivers. Looks like a ton of fun.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, once you switch to a plastic boat, you'll probably never go back to aluminum.
And I guess that's my next question. The people that buy your boats, who are they? Are they guys? Are they just general outdoors enthusiasts looking to get way back there when it comes to fishing and hunting hotspots? Who buys your boats?
Well, there are lots of people who are very interested in our boats. And yes, the rugged outdoorsmen, the people that want to get to places where no one else can get to, the people who have taken an aluminum boat a few miles too far up a river and tore the bottom out of it or whatever and had to limp home or hitch a ride home. And we've also got the Coast Guard is interested in it, some of the other governmental agencies. We've got fire departments who want to use them for rescue on various rivers. So a wide range of people.
Let's talk about the Kobuk multi-purpose boat, because when I see that, I not only think about big rivers, I also think about inland waterways in Alaska, maybe the Inside Passage area of British Columbia, down into the Pacific Northwest, and maybe big lakes like the Great Lakes, where there's islands where people are going to and fro as well.
Right. The boats can be used pretty much anywhere. They have a very quiet ride, much quieter than aluminum, which makes them good for hunting. They are about the same weight as an aluminum boat. We have to use thicker material. The plastic that we use is thicker than you would use if you were making it out of aluminum. But the weight is about the same because the plastic actually floats. So they're a very comfortable ride. They smooth out the waves. They dampen some of the vibration. And because they give a softer, quieter ride, then you have less fatigue from noise and vibration, especially on a long run.
And I was thinking from the durability point of view, if you're in remote areas like some of those I just described, and there's not a pier available, I mean, you can beach it. You can go on those little areas that, yes, you're going to be jostling some rocks. And because the boat material is so durable, you're not going to damage it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, John. Matter of fact, on some of these smaller rivers that we run, the really shallow ones, if you just slow down a little bit, you'll get stuck. And so if we want to stop, we don't slow down. We look for a little cut bank, and we just drive the boat right up onto the bank, right up onto the gravel bar. And we then take a break, do whatever we're going to do, and then just scooch the boat back into the river again and take off. And another nice thing about the plastic is that it's pretty slippery on the rocks. Aluminum tends to grab the rocks. The plastic just slides over them. That's why people put plastic on the bottom of their aluminum boats.
All right. Well, Bob, we've got to go. But this sounds really incredible. Again, folks, Class 5 Boat Works is the company that makes them. Can folks in the States, in the lower 48, buy your boats? And where's the website we need to send them to again?
Yeah, the website is Class 5 Boatworks. That's CLASS, and then the digit 5, and then boatworks.com. And yes, we can ship the boats to anywhere in the lower 48. That's not a problem.
All right, so for our listeners in Anchorage and other places in Alaska, it's right there for you. But for everybody else, you can get them too. The website to go to, Class 5, that's the number 5, boatworks.com. That's class5boatworks.com. Bob, thanks for telling us all about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you very much, John.
Is Alaska calling you? Come see Alaska firsthand in 2017. Gwynn's Lodge and Roadhouse is world famous with great fishing and hiking in the adjacent Kenai and Russian rivers. Reasonable rates and multi-night discounts you can book direct right online at gwynslodge.com. Central Kenai Peninsula makes it easy to see the whole Kenai without having to move. Historic restaurant on site and live music Saturday nights in Gwynn's Pavilion. Book now at gwinslodge.com. gwynslodge.com.
With Kodiak Combos, fishing and hunting in Alaska isn't a part-of-the-time job, it's an all-the-time job. For over 20 years, Kodiak Combos has been providing year-round hunting and fishing adventures from Kodiak Island. Whether you need a transport to a trophy Sitka blacktail, want to troll for big king salmon, take in some wing shooting, or jig for big halibut, lingcod, and rockfish, we can do it for you. Find out more at kodiakcombos.com.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and this portion of the show is brought to you by the Alaska Sporting Journal, covering fishing, hunting, and outdoors adventure throughout the great state of Alaska, where it doesn't get much rougher and tougher. If you want to be successful there in Alaska, you've got to have the best gear. And that goes for the lower 48 too. You want to have the best gear you can. That's why we're talking to Craig Compo. He owns Compos in Fairbanks. He sells ATVs, he sells boats, and he sells some stuff that's going to work out there for you. Craig, welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Good talking to you.
So, Craig, we're going to briefly talk about ATVs. That's some rough country you're in. All 4 seasons of the year. What ATV do you sell up there that hunters and people that just recreate outdoors use?
Well, we sell the Can-Am product. You know, they're a Canadian company, so they kind of understand Alaska, and so they really have concentrated on a tough market, which is all of Alaska. The better ground clearance, the higher horsepower, the more durability, and that's our four-wheeler choice up here, just because they're really tough. And we always tell people, if you don't have a good four-wheeler, you better have a nice pair of hiking boots to walk home in.
That's a great line. Let's switch our attention to boats, because there are a ton of rivers and streams in Alaska, but getting from point A to point B isn't so easy. If you use your standard boat that you were using down here on a lake in the lower 48 and it's fiberglass, you're not going to get real far. What kind of boat do you recommend that folks use if they need to get where the fish and game are?
We're a 72-year-old business in Alaska here, and we have developed and innovated some stuff that really allows a boat to go where it shouldn't. Fiberglass is dead up here. I mean, you can't go anywhere with fiberglass. You need an all-welded aluminum boat. We don't do any riveted boats. Aluminum is light and strong, and we've got a boat that we designed back in 1998 that has just taken off for those guys that want to get where the game is and get where the better fishing is. And, it's called our SJX, and it's a 21-foot boat with a 200-horse Mercury direct-injected inboard jet engine, and it sits on a tunnel. And so there is nothing hanging down below the boat. All the power is up above the bottom of the boat several inches, so it allows you to do some things that you just traditionally would never, ever think of doing. Throwing a moose in the boat and going through ankle-deep water. People go, what? What are you talking about? I tell them, watch our videos.
Oh, your videos are something else. And folks, I got to tell you, in this video, the boat's not only going in ankle-deep water, it's going over a gravel bar to get back in that ankle-deep water. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, we have a feature that we worked on for many years. It's UHMW, which goes on the bottom of the boat. It stands for ultra-high molecular weight material. It's actually the slipperiest stuff in the world. It's incredibly durable. We adhere it onto the bottom of the boat. It becomes part of the bottom of the boat. And it's the same stuff they make bulletproof vests out of. But it is extremely slippery. So if you need to slide over a down tree or a sandbar or gravel bar, you just chop the throttle, slide, and when you're back in the water, you get back on the throttle and go. And we've been doing this for years. To us, it's second nature, but most people are just freaking out when they go with us for the first time. It's like an airboat without all the disadvantages of an airboat, without the noise, without the big fan, hanging in the way, and without the poor handling. So really a unique boat, and it's catching on. We sell them all over the world. We have them built in Idaho. We have a plant in Idaho that builds them, and we send them everywhere. People that aren't familiar with them should really check them out because they're one of a kind for sure.
That's SJX Jet Boats. Definitely want to check those out. SJX Jet Boats. And I want to talk about a couple of configurations because very open in the back for hauling gear, hauling game, but it looks really angler friendly too. And I see that you've got some that have canopies up top as well.
Yeah, you can go as basic or as deluxe as you want. I mean, we've got features, amazing features that we've developed over the years. In addition to adhering the UHMW bottom on, we've got a device that hooks onto the jet nozzle, and you have the ability to put out a fire on a river, if your cabin or your campfire. It's called the M-Jack. It's actually a fire hose that connects to the jet nozzle, and you have a 200 horsepower water pump. We sold a bunch to the Austrian Fire Department. We've sold them all to the big oil companies. We just sold a big one to Exxon down in Chicago, and they use for fire protection on their barges in the inlet there, or on the waterways. So it's really amazing some of the things that these boats can do. And we've got a website with a ton of videos. It's actually sjxboats.com. You can see all our videos, and you can see what these boats will do, and some of the great hunting trips we've made with them, and it's just amazing. We never come back without a freezer full of meat. We live off the land up here. It's all moose and caribou and the great fishing, salmon and halibut, and we take it for granted. But this boat is the tool that lets us get this done.
So, Craig, you're up in Fairbanks. If somebody looks at the website and wants to buy an SJX jet boat, how do they go about buying them? Do they have to go all the way to Fairbanks?
No, not at all. We're in the testing ground, so this is where we test these boats on a regular basis. But we sell the boats FOB, the factory, right there in Orofino, Idaho, or we can ship them, and we often do directly to your location. We got some special freight rates, so we're up here because this is where the testing gets done.
So that's Orofino, Idaho is where you can pick them up, right on the Clearwater River in north central Idaho. You don't have to drive to Fairbanks to get a boat that's going to take you anywhere you want to go. We're out of time, but the website to go to find out about these boats that'll take you just about anywhere you want to go, whether you're in Alaska or anywhere else in the world, is sjxboats.com. That's sjxboats.com, built in Idaho, sold at Compos in Fairbanks, and distributed and sold and used all over the world. That's sjxboats.com. And if you're in Fairbanks, make sure you stop by Compos to check out the boats, to check out the Can-Am ATVs and everything else they got there. Craig, thanks for sharing this with us this week on America Outdoors Radio.
Sounds good, John. Thank you.
Next up on America Outdoors Radio, we're heading to Ferndale, Washington, just south of the Canadian border. That's where we're talking to Eric Jungblom. He is the owner of Lee Lock Anchor Systems. Eric, great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thanks, John.
So, Eric, we have been talking about rugged gear that makes it easier for anglers to do what they need to do out there on the water. And you've developed a system, the Lee Lock Line Lock. Explain to our listeners exactly what that is and why people who operate drift boats, rafts, and power boats love it.
The line lock is kind of designed to be a replacement for a typical jam cleat or line or a tie-off cleat in most cases. It's not the perfect fit for every occasion or situation, but it's a much safer alternative. Works really well. Just a lot easier product to use.
So you said it's an easier product to use and it's a safer product to use. Why don't you explain why?
The main thing is it's a much more secure way to lock the tie off the line or lock the anchor line. It's not going to come undone accidentally. That's the main thing. Just there's no way for it to accidentally release like some of the other stuff that's out there.
So let's talk about who is using the Lee Lock Line Lock and some of your products. And I understand a lot of guides all over the northwestern U.S. are using their products. What are they fishing for, and exactly what products are they using?
There's a number of different guides using a little bit of every product, depending on the application or what fishery they're targeting. We've got guys fishing the Columbia to over in eastern Washington, fishing like Lake Roosevelt. We're using our bow mount trolling motor adapter plate in place of an anchor nest, so it's really versatile. They're using that function to troll for kokanee and fish walleye, and then they can switch over to the anchor nest when they want to anchor up for sturgeon or springers or whatever they happen to be in the mood to do.
All right, well, folks, we're running short on time, but if you want to find out more about Lee Lock Anchor System products, what is the website we should steer folks to?
It's www.leelock.com.
Leelock.com. If you own a drift boat, if you own an inflatable raft that you fish out of, if you own a power boat, if you fish rivers, if you fish streams, if you fish even the big water, check out Lee Lock Anchor Systems and the patented Lee Lock Line Lock. It's going to make your fishing a whole lot easier. Eric, great to have you back on the show. You have a great week.
Yep, thanks, John. You too.
The Caddis Game Changer breathable waders are going to change the way you fish. You've always counted on Caddis waders to keep you warm and dry through the years, and Caddis never lets you down. Now comes the Game Changer. It's the same tough durability and the addition of a zippered hard pouch pocket that opens up to become a work shelf. Now you can change accessories on the water for maximum flexibility. Look for Caddis Game Changer breathable waders wherever quality fishing products are sold or online at caddiswaders.com.
Do you want to have an easier and better fishing and boating experience? Are you tired of struggling with your anchor? Then you need the Lee Lock Anchor System. The versatile Lee Lock system allows you to quickly and easily change Lee Lock accessories depending on fishing and boating needs. Whether you're fishing lakes, rivers, or the ocean, Lee Lock has a solution for you. Go to leelock.com or visit your local boating store. Plain meat is boring, and any cook worth their salt knows seasoning that meat is important. That's why a spice set from the Miklich Company store in Spokane is the perfect gift for the meat griller in your life. For only $19.95, you can get one of 4 gift boxes, each with 4 different spices, sauces, or rubs. Choose from the Barbecue Blends gift pack, the Hot and Spicy gift box, the Grill and Roast gift set, or the General Seasonings gift pack. Pick them up at the Miklich Company store at 130 North Stone in Spokane, or order online at SpokaneSpice.com.
Hughes Craft is the Pacific Northwest best-selling boat. It's a family fishing boat that has been providing the most safety, fishability, and the best value to Northwest boaters since 1948. Hughes Craft's welded aluminum boats are built for serious fishermen with plenty of room for fighting fish, not the rest of the crew. Our state-of-the-art design allows for pure fishing functionality and the durability to last season after season, year after year, and decade after decade. To find the Hughes Craft dealer nearest you, visit HughesCraft.com.
Tillamook Bay is considered the greatest fishing experience on the west coast for fall Chinook salmon and winter steelhead, and Dungeness crab is plentiful. 5 major rivers connect with the ocean on the Tillamook coast. It's not unusual to snag a 40 to 50 pounder. Go out in a boat or stand on a riverbank or dock. Try fishing from a dory boat and experience the thrill of a beach launch and landing. Use spinners, sand shrimp, or salmon eggs to lure them. The fish will line up to grab your bait. Go to tillamookcoast.com/fishing to find guides and places to stay.
Rad Power Bikes is an electric bike manufacturer offering direct-to-consumer pricing on powerful premium electric bikes. Because they sell direct to you, the consumer, you won't see the large retail markup that would be present if you were buying from a third party or a dealer, ensuring you're always getting a performance e-bike at a fraction of the cost. Visit radpowerbikes.com or call 1-800-939-0310 to learn more about their models or to place an order. Join Rad Power Bikes in jump-starting the electric bike revolution today.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. It's time for some outdoors news. Thousands of boat owners will be jumping through some regulatory hoops this year to comply with a new federal hull ID requirement that goes into effect on New Year's Day of 2018. Your hull ID is much like your vehicle identification number. The Coast Guard says they want to know who owns each and every boat on the nation's waterways, and they're tracking that info with a 12-character alphanumeric field. Most boats on the water have a hull number that will comply, but owners of some boats will not be in compliance and will have to go to their state licensing office and apply for a new hull ID number, which, yes, will take both time and money. Why are we doing this? Well, according to the Coast Guard, the standard was changed to A, improve boating safety efforts, and B, enhance law enforcement capabilities. The law enforcement side I get, because this will definitely help both the Coast Guard and law enforcement determine if a boat is stolen or if the boat's involved in some sort of crime or even abandoned. They can figure out who the owner is. As for boating safety, that seems to be a stretch to think that by getting a new metal-plated number on your boat, you are making the waterways a safer place, but federal bureaucratic reasoning and common sense don't always cross paths or have much of a rhyme or reason. Next, we've got good news for our listeners who recreate on public lands in Nevada. From the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, we learn Nevada Congressman Mark Amodei has abandoned his efforts to transfer public lands to his home state. Had he been successful, the majority of these lands would have become off limits to public recreation. Introduced by Amodei last year, the Honor the Nevada Enabling Act would have legislated the transfer of millions of publicly owned acres to the state of Nevada. Speaking with a reporter from the Reno Gazette-Journal, Congressman Amodei said, transferring millions of acres of public lands is not something I think the majority of people think is a good idea. That was how he explained his decision to abandon the bill after the House reconvened this year. Backcountry Hunters and Anglers President Lan Tawney also had something to say about this news, stating, public land hunters and anglers are heartened by Congressman Amodei's apparent awakening to a fact most of us have known all along. Americans love our public lands. That's good news, but we've got bad news. And it's coming from the northwestern part of the United States, where the spring Chinook salmon run heading up the Columbia and Snake Rivers has so far failed to materialize. As of May 15th, some 34,000 spring Chinook have crossed over Bonneville Dam, their first hurdle in the lower Columbia River. Compare this to the 10-year average at this point, which is closer to 125,000 fish, and Portland, we have a problem. Fisheries managers have made the decision to close popular fisheries for the season on the Snake River all the way to the port cities of Clarkston and Lewiston in Idaho, and have also closed fishing on the Icicle River, a popular May-June fishery in central Washington. Oregon State has limited salmon fishing on the lower Willamette River near Portland, and there have been near-record cool temps and high water flows on the Columbia this year. It is possible that we are just dealing with a delayed return here, but then again, it may be time to push the panic button. If you can't catch fish in the Northwest, you certainly can in the South, and big ones too, especially in Mississippi, where 4 state lake records were recently broken. A record bluegill and sunfish were caught out of Lake Columbia. A 2.2-pound record crappie was reeled in out of Calling Panther Lake, and a 6.5-pound lake record fish was caught at Lake Lamar Bruce. So there you go. If you can't get your cold water fish out of the Evergreen or Beaver State, head to the Magnolia State, where the water is warm and the fish are biting. Next on America Outdoors Radio, we've been telling you about all sorts of gear that's going to get you further into the backcountry, into the waterways, into places you want to go for the best fishing, the best hunting, the best outdoors experience. But I bet you never thought we would tell you about a bicycle. It's true, and not just any other bike either. We are talking to Ty Collins. He is one of the founders of Rad Power Bikes based in Seattle. They make e-bikes. Ty, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Ty, what exactly is an e-bike, and why would a hunter or angler or other outdoors enthusiast want one?
Super great question. So an e-bike is an electric bike. So at its core, it's going to be just the same as, that mountain bike you might have sitting in your garage, but there's going to be a few little tweaks that turn it from a bicycle to an electric bike. So you're going to have a battery that stores your power, a motor controller that basically acts as the brains of the system, and then a motor, and that, of course, is going to propel you. So all of our e-bikes go up to 20 miles per hour with no pedaling needed. You can get power from the on-demand twist grip throttle, which is going to act just like the throttle on a motorcycle or a scooter. We also have 5 levels of what's called pedal assist. So how pedal assist works is there's a sensor basically in your pedals, and it picks up on your motion. As you pedal, it's going to give you anywhere from a little bit of assistance to a lot of assistance. So the pedal assist is fun because it still feels like you're riding a bike, but it basically makes you feel like you have superhuman legs. So the really great things about electric bikes are it really allows you to go out and do a lot of the things that you might not have been able to do before. So it makes that really big hill a lot flatter. It makes that 20-mile ride a lot shorter. So for hunters and fishers, one of the really great things is it lets them get out and get to those spots that might be a little bit too far to walk. It's going to be behind a gate that you're not allowed to take a car on. It just really kind of opens up your environment, lets you do new things that you couldn't do in a car, don't want to do on a bicycle or walk, or, a motorcycle or an ATV is just going to cause too much noise.
Ty, my mind is racing with possibilities. I'm thinking in particular of rail trails all over the western United States. This would be perfect for. Got to ask you, what's the range? How far can you go on a single charge?
Yeah, so, obviously there's a number of factors that come into play, and the main ones being your type of terrain, your level of assist, and the rider size. We give a range of between 20 and 40 miles per charge, with the vast majority of people falling right there in the middle, getting, high 20s, low 30s per charge. So if you're in a very hilly terrain and you're using throttle only, you're never going to pedal, it's likely that you're going to be closer to 20 miles per charge. I myself have gone out on off-road kind of mountain bike style rides where I was using a lower level of assistance the entire time, and after a 40-mile ride, I still had battery left.
This is just amazing to me. Folks, think of those gated Forest Service roads that are closed to vehicular traffic but open for hikers and mountain bikers, you could get a long ways back there in a day. And do you have bikes that actually have storage rooms so you could actually bring stuff with you to go camping?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we have 4 different models of bikes, all of which are either outfitted stock with rear racks or have racks that you can easily add on to it. So we definitely have a very large customer base that are both, hunters and or fishermen that use these bikes for, all sorts of applications, whether it's getting out to, their favorite spot that they don't want to walk or drive to, or even hauling gear, in and out.
So one last question for you. Let's say I'm out there 30 miles out and, well, I run out of juice. Does it just operate as a regular bike at that point and just pedal and it's all good?
Yes, I mean, that's really kind of the beauty of it is, like I was saying before, at its core, it truly is a bicycle. So if something happens, you run out of battery, at that point you can treat it exactly like you could treat a bicycle. You can still shift just like a normal bike, pedal like a normal bike, brake like a normal bike. So it really is nice because you can go out there and you don't really have to have that worry of if something happens, how am I getting it back? It's not like if you were to take a motorcycle 15 miles out and if it breaks down, you're stuck there. You can always pedal just like you would on a traditional mountain bike.
Ty, so many questions, so little time. We have to go, and I don't want to. So let's steer folks to your website so they can find out, A, more about these great e-bikes, and B, where they can buy them. I know you sell them in Seattle, but do you sell them anywhere else?
Yeah, we do. So you can get our bikes, at your convenience at any time directly through our website, which is www.radpowerbikes.com. And then if you are in the Seattle area, we also have our showroom retail location right in the heart of Ballard in Seattle.
That's radpowerbikes.com, rad spelled R-A-D, powerbikes.com. If you're a hunter, if you're an angler, if you're somebody who normally hikes and just wants to go further into the backcountry, check out these e-bikes. I think you're going to be taking your outdoors adventures to a whole new level. Thanks for telling us about this, Ty. This sounds like a great tool for the outdoors.
Of course, John. Yeah, thanks so much for chatting with me.
It's time to go, but as always, I do hope the good Lord blesses you in the week ahead, and I also hope you get a chance to call in a spring gobbler, reel in a whopper out of your local lake, or spend some quality time in a gun club near you. Remember, it's your country and your outdoors.